All right, now that you have all the basic hands and the trapping, we're going to start to apply it. So now this is what we call compound trapping. Right now, if we met together and if Willie goes, one, see, that's just a single trap. Let me put you this way for camera. Okay, so right now, if Willie went pak sao, that's a single trap. Okay, now we're going to go a combination of traps. So if we went for the connection, he will go pak sao to lap sao on the same arm. So pak sao da to lap sao da. All right. Now, the reason why he might want to do this is, for one, if he does slap, score, he might want to continue on, pull and punch. All right? If he went pak sao da, I might block. So now he's going to have to pull punch to get me. Do you see the reason why? All right. So now, go pak sao to lap sao again. Go. 1, 2. All right, I'm going to do it to Willie. Pak, lap. Okay? So now, he's going to go lap sao, pak sao. Okay? So I lap, I pak. Do you see it? So right now, slow, pull punch, slap punch. Okay? So now, what we're going to go into is we're going to go into cross, we'll call it cross reference, or going past the center line with a block. All right, so when he slap punches, I push past the center line. He's going to pull and punch on there. All right, now let me explain center line to you. This is going to sound a little bit weird, and I hope I can explain this well for you. Picture right now if Willie had a pencil stuck out of his chest. We're going to call that, like if we're standing square to each other, this is our center line. If I had a pencil, he had a pencil. If I turn this way, my center line is going this way. If I'm straight, it's here. Okay, so now with that in mind, picture a nail in the top of his head and a nail in the top of my head with a string connecting us. No matter where we moved, that line, if it was taut, would be our mother line. Okay? This one is what we call the self center. This is the mother line. So right now, if Will came and he slapped and punched, and if I blocked past my mother line, or our mother line, or not necessarily past my self center line. Okay, do one more time. 1, if I pushed past it, now he would reach in, grab, and pull punch. Now watch this. Let me explain this to you. If I go here, and if it pushes past, my hand will come in. This is what we refer to still as BUG. You should know that term now, I jab, and then I will go into gua choi. All right, so one more time. It goes pak sao da, BUG, lap sao, gua choi. Now, if Willie went 1, and I stopped it without passing the mother line, this is what we would call loi pak sao da. All right, do you see that? All right, let me turn you this way a little bit so the camera might be able to pick that up. All right, if he goes pak sao da, loi pak sao da. Now, watch, I'm going to do this one time. All right, I'm going to put you back this way now. All right, if I went pak sao da and he stopped, it would be crazy for me to come all the way over here to get the hit. I'd never make it. Right now, if I went like that and he stopped it there, it doesn't make sense to go this way. So what I want to do is just remove the barrier on the inside. Do you see that? So you do one more time, Willie. Pak sao da, loi pak sao da. See, now go pak sao da, lap sao da. Do you see it? I passed the center line. He had to go with it. Okay, so now, still continuing on with this, he's going to go pak sao da, lap sao da. All right, but now, if we went, he's going to go pak sao da, he's going to put the BUG in, and then he's going to go pak sao da again. Okay, do you see that? So it goes pak sao da, BUG, pak sao da. So real slow, he goes pak sao, and when I move it, he tries to score here. But if this barrier is in a way, he removes the barrier, and he hits. Do you see that? Okay, so now with that in mind, all right, remember this. If we pass the center line, he has a choice of pulling and punching, or he can wedge or BUG and then trap me off here. Okay, so now he can also lap sao da. So do it again, and I could put this hand up, and then he could lap sao da again. Do you see it? Lap sao, lap sao. All right. Then he can go lap sao, pak sao. That's it. Now, do you see those? All right. So let me kind of recap this again. I'm going to add a little bit more before we're done, but he's going to go pak sao da, lap sao da, same arm. So pak sao da, lap sao da. Lap sao da, pak sao da. That's it. Then he's going to go pak sao da, lap sao da on the opposite arm because I blocked with the rear hand. Then he's going to go lap sao da, lap sao da. Then he's going to go lap sao da, pak sao da. Then he's going to go pak sao da, loi pak sao da inside. That's it. Okay, now he's going to go what we call Seung Pak or half da series. So the half da series, what it does is it goes 1 and then 2. What I do is I draw it out just enough because I want to cause this reaction. I want him to go for the block. So watch this. I go like that. See, like, he might think, oh, look it, I'm going to block here. But now I go in this way. See, now we can just go on. All right, so if we go here, we go 1. One more time, I go 1, and I bait him out because I want him to think that this is coming through. And then I just switch it. So if you do it to me, Willie, that's it. One more time. That's it. So right now I'm just blocking it for training. Go on. I'm not going to block it. You're going to get it. That's it. So now a lot of people will ask, what are you hitting right here? This could be the Wan Jern. Remember I taught you the Wan Jern? It could be Wan Jern to the face. Another thing they'll do is they'll wipe the eye. They'll just dig into the eye. So right there, they'll just stick the thumb in and go. So if I go here, I go like that and I wipe it. And the other thing they'll do is they'll slap into the drum of the ear. Okay? All right, so this is, it's not too much for you to learn. It's starting to get a little complex now. So take your time with it. Go slow. You're going to see that you're going to start to get this tenderized. It's good. You should. My instructor, Sifu Dan Inasan, always says, I want to hear the report, meaning he wants to hear that cracking of the skin. So when we're going, just pock, all right, and get a little bit of that slap going. Don't gear back. Don't slap and pull back and punch. Just make sure that it just goes off. And then once it goes, you're just going to go into the trapping. So, all right, again, pak sao. And you have the lop sao, or you have the pak sao to loi pak. You can go pak sao and you can go outside, okay? You can go pak sao and you can pull punch, or you can go pak to pak. You can go lop to lop. You can go lop to pak, or you can go seung pak. All right, seung means 2, okay? So what they're saying is seung pak is it's double slap, okay? All right, so right now you should be slapping. You want to hear that report. You want to tenderize the arm. After a while, you might get some people and they're not going to like it too much, but after a while, you'll acclimate to it and you'll get used to it. It's just part of the training. After a while, it desensitizes. You won't bruise from it later. Just keep running with it. Like trap once. See, after a while, yeah, it stings a little bit, but it goes away. It's not that bad. Just kind of acclimate yourself. Go easy. Right now, if I'm hitting too hard, lighten it up. Ask your partner to lighten it up. But just the important thing is to get the reps in, keep training. Remember, don't gear back and slap. Maybe he's got a good, strong slap, and then I go, oh, I'm going to get revenge, and then I start to slap. You don't need to do that. Just go. If he's like hurting me, I'll just go, Willie, whoa, man, lighten it up a little bit because it's a little too much for me. So just train it. Take it easy. There's a lot there for you to chew on. We're going to go a little bit further with it now. Now I'm going to go into entries in. So we're going to learn how to close the gap and fight from there. All right, I'm going to go into the 5 pak sao of Zhenfang Gung Fu. So Larry's going to come in, and what we do with this is we think about this. Right now, I think of going after someone. When can I use this trap on him? And basically, it will work anytime. You have to know when to use it and when not to. So the first, obviously, is before the punch. So if I'm standing there with Larry and we're facing off, I can slap and punch. So real slow, I can trap and get the hit, okay? So that's before the punch. All right, I can also go during the punch. So as Larry goes, I can trap and hit. So again, during the punch, I go in as he's punching. All right, the third one is from the connection. If he goes, maybe I block. Or maybe I go and he blocks. Okay, so that's from the connection. The fourth one is from the retraction. So he punches, and on the way back, I grab it. I hopefully grab it before it gets back. So if he goes 1, and then I come in. Okay, real slow. It goes there, and as he's going back, I grab it, and I get the hit. Okay? The fifth one is after the punch. So when he goes 1, 2, maybe he relaxes a little bit. Maybe he thinks, oh, I jabbed, I'm okay. He didn't get me, I didn't score. Maybe he did score. So if he goes 1, and then I go. So this is after. It's not on the retraction. It's after the punch. So when he goes 1, it goes back, now I go. Okay, so again, before the punch, during the punch, connection, retraction, after. Okay, that's the 5 pak saos in Zhenfang Gung Fu. Okay, now we're going to go a little bit more into this. I'm going to make it a little more complex for you. All right, right now, we're going to go into what we call ping choi, gua choi, or chop choi, gua choi series. Now, again, I told you the ping choi was this fist. Chop choi was this fist. So the only difference is right now, if Willie gives me the body shot, that's ping choi right now. He's going to trap, and then he's going to go gua choi, which is the backhand. I'm going to block for now. I'm just going to stick it out with my lead hand. So every time Willie does this, 1, 2, I come up with the lead hand. You see it? So I'm going to do it to Willie once. If I go 1, I go 2, up high. So what I'm hoping for is that I pin that enough to where I can get this hit. But we're going to say it doesn't work, and Willie comes up with the block. Okay, let me come over here a little bit. All right, so we go 1 and then up. Go up with it. 1 and up. Do you see it? So right now, do you remember what we did a little while ago? You're going to employ all of that. So we're going to go first, we meet arms, and it's not like we would meet arms. This isn't like a bad Hong Kong film. The idea is, maybe I shoot that low shot, and maybe he blocks it right there. So right there, I can come up. Okay? So there are times they'll feel maybe I'm at a distance where I'm a little too far away, so they think that extended knuckle can make it to there. Okay? So if I go for it, either it's ping choi or it's chop choi to the gua choi. All right? Ping choi is here. Chop choi is here. Gua choi is the back fist. I'm going to keep going over these terms. I want you to get them. It's part of the system. It's part of the art. And in my eyes, I feel that you should respect the art to know the terminology that goes with it. Okay, so you'll just hear me. I'll put it in English for you, and I'll put it back into the Chinese terminology for you. Okay, so Willie can go 1, he could trap and come high, and now he can go to the first one, pak sao da to lop sao da. You remember this from what we just finished, okay? Or he can go 1, 2, lop sao da to pak sao da. You see it? Or I can go 1, 2, and if he blocks it, and if he stays within the center line, it's loi pak sao da, okay? Or we can go 1, 2, pak sao. If he pushes past the center line, I'm going to pull and punch. Or I have a choice of going 1, 2, and then pak in here, okay? If we go 1, 2, I could double hit right here, or double pak, 1, 2. Okay, so this is, it's not that much more to put it in, but it just complexes things a little bit for you. It lets you know that if you're downstairs, you can start to come upstairs. And if he blocks it upstairs, you can continue on with what you learned earlier, a little earlier. Keep going. That's it. Okay? All right, so now, after you get that, we're going to start to go into the rear hand. So if I come up and the front hand doesn't come up, but now the rear hand, you can go straight into the loi pak. So we can go 1 and then into the loi pak. Now I'm going to spin Willie around. If we go 1, the second one that I want you to do is called cup sao. So I slap this off. This is loi pak sao da cup sao. And they go jin choi right here. So we're going to go low, and I slap, and I hook it, and then I'm going to uppercut right here. All right, one more time. 1, slap, cup sao, and uppercut. Okay? Then the last one that I want you to have is pak sao, and then it passes the center line, and I just go right to the lop sao. So if Willie goes pak sao, lop sao. Do you see that? One last time. Pak sao, lop sao. All right? That's it. So it's not too much more. I give you 3 techniques more than what you had for the rear hand. So if we go, again, to recap it, if the rear hand comes up, if I go inside and I don't push past the center line, he could slap it off. Now, if I go and I do the second one, 1, he comes up, I could slap it off and cup that arm. Do you see it? So it goes 1, 2, slap, and then I can hit to the ribs. And then the third one, if Willie goes 1, and if I pass the center line, he's going to pull and hit. Just train these. It's 3 more. You already have that whole other set from before. The only other thing is the new entry in, low to high, either the front arm or the rear arm. Okay, now we're getting pretty far in this. Right now, you've got a lot of material. You should be pretty comfortable with all the hand trapping. So now we're going to add to it. So now what happens if we're at a distance and we need to close that gap? So let me bring Willie in. Let me switch sides with you, actually, Willie. All right, so now we're in here. And right here, you know, if we're at this range, I can make contact. I can hit. He can hit. All right, this is not a comfort zone, or it's not a safe zone. Not that this is even a safe zone, but right here, maybe you could breathe a little easier. So at this range, how do I close the gap against him? I know maybe if I go to come in, he's going to step back. I bet you he doesn't stay there. He's going to move back. How can I get that gap closed? It's tough, all right? It is tough, but it isn't. We have a few tricks that we use, and they've been so helpful to me. I've fought professionally in shoot wrestling, and this got me in on a lot of people to where I was able to get that hit, to close the gap, and sometimes to get out, too. I'd get in and I'd get that hit and get back out of there without getting touched. You need to know how to close that gap, all right? So what we do to close the gap is we call this mansao. Mansao means garbage, all right? It's like garbage hand. I'm throwing garbage. I go like that because I want to see how he reacts. I throw that thing out there. I want to see, maybe Willie, he runs, right? Maybe he'll come on back in. Maybe he'll block it, right? Maybe he blocks with the rear hand. All right, maybe he might tackle me. If I go like that, see, well, he comes in and he gets the tackle. Mansao will tell me. Usually, if he gets a tackle, hopefully I've got enough room to where I can react off it, but I'm still going to find out what he wants to do by throwing the mansao. You don't know how your opponent's going to react to what you're doing. So we're going to say right now, if I throw the mansao, he's just going to kind of bear in, and maybe he'll put his guard up. So the first one, you're going to go mansao to pak sao. Do you see it? So mansao, you throw that garbage. He went with the front hand. I just trap in, okay? All right, or we can go what we call chop choy gua choy. Remember the chop choy gua choy when we did it at close range? We'll do it at low range, at far range also. See, the only difference is when I go, I have to be a little bit like Houdini. I have to make him believe that I am really trying to touch him. If I go like this, he knows he's not in trouble, right? So what I do is I'll make a movement. I'll go low, and then I might go high with it. Sometimes I don't even throw the arm out. I make it appear that I'm going to throw it low. I go, huh, and then I'm going to come in, okay? So when we go, you have biuji, pak sao. You have chop choy gua choy, pak sao, okay? Then I could combine. I go biuji, chop choy gua choy, and then pak sao. Do you see it? All right, so now I have biuji, pak sao. I have chop choy gua choy, pak sao. I have biuji, chop choy gua choy, pak sao. All I'm trying to do is overload Willie. I'm trying to make just too much come at him. If I can overload him, he won't know what to do and lock up. That's what my hope is. Okay, so this is for, we'll call this long range, but we're still a little tight. Now I'm going to open it up a little more. If I'm this far away from Willie, how do I close that gap? All right, I'm going to do the same thing. He knows I can't reach him, right? But so what I'm going to do is once I go here, I'm going to open up that line. I'm going to round kick him. So when I go here, I go like that, and then I'm going to come in. Okay, so we're going to go right out here. I go biuji, kick, and then in. Okay, I have to make him believe that I'm trying to hit him with this. If I go like this, he knows it. He's just going to go, he won't be there. He'll probably attack me because of it. So I make him believe that he's being threatened. I go here, and the kick, and then I go in. Okay, the next one is I'm going to fake low, shoot high, kick, and in. Again, I'm going chop choy, gua choy, now tech, pak sao da. I'm gearing myself. When I go here and here, right now I'm using, you learned this already, the step and slide, or I'm sorry, the slide and step. Slide, step, and then the hit. Do you see it? Okay, so then I go high, low, high. So right now we're fighting, I go 1, 2, 3, kick, and then I'm going to come in. Okay, that's what I want you to use to close the gap. So if you're at kind of long range or medium long range, we'll call it, I might be able to just go here and then go. I might be able to go low to high, go. I might be able to go high, low, high, go. But if I'm a little further out, I got to put the kick in. So one kick, I could go low to high, kick, and then I can go high, low, high, kick, and then come in. All it is going to bridge the gap. It's going to make it a little easier for you to score from a long range distance. To recap this, all right, now I can eye jab, come in. I know that I can't reach him. You know that. All right, I can go low to high, come in. Maybe I'm trying to baffle him, maybe make him think, where the heck is this guy going to go to? Or I can go high, low, high, and then in. Okay, but now if I'm at long range to where I know I can't even get that connection, what I do is I have to close the gap, I kick, and then slap and punch in. Okay, or I can fake low, go high, kick, and then punch in. Or I go high, low, high, kick, and then in. Okay, so it's all about closing that gap. You need to get the gap closed. I mean, you've got to get in there, and you have to be able to control him and trap him. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to show you it with boxing gloves on and the way we're working in more of a boxing format. Okay, you just went through trapping and closing the gap. So now we're going to close the gap again, but this time, again, mitted up and with gloves on. So I want you to think of the same thing that you were doing before, except now, this time, I'm not going to say he's a front hand blocker. So Willie, in cooperation, is not going to put this front hand up for me. He's just going to sign this. So maybe like if Willie jabbed me, maybe I'm a guy who just sways back. So if I went and I threw the eye jab, even though I wasn't close enough to touch, maybe I say, oh, he sways back. But there was nothing that came out of him. Maybe his hand stayed here. I don't know. So we're just going to go right here and simulate it. So if I go here, I go one, I go, oh, that was a nice shot right for the chin. So I go right there. So I eye jab, and I throw the cross, okay? Or maybe I fake low and go high. So I go 1, 2, and I just put that cross in. 1, 2, cross. You see it? So now, again, you've already been taught this. So now I go high, low, high, and I put the cross in. So I go 1, 2, and then in. Actually, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, and put it in. I'm just trying to get him to react. Again, I'm overloading his nervous system. I want him to lock up. Usually if people panic, they tense up. And that's all I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make him freak out a little bit. Like, where's this guy going? What's he doing? How's he coming in? Again, if I'm at long range, I eye jab, I put the kick in, and then I cross. Or I go low, high, kick, cross. Or high, low, high, kick, cross. Do you see it? All right, so now I put it in more of a boxing format, and I'm not using the front hand. Although we will later, with the mitts, use the front hand. But right now, I just want you to stay here. Just work this. It's more than enough material for you to work on. It's 6 movements. Eye jab, cross. Low, high, cross. High, low, high, cross. Eye jab, kick, cross. Low, high, kick, cross. High, low, high, kick, and cross. Okay, now I'm going to go into a little bit of drilling. This is called the lop-cell cycle. So Larry's going to come in. Right now, it's a cooperative drill. It's not like we're going to fight. All you're doing is you're training a reflex, and you're training actually when to relax, when to tighten up as if you were punching. So for the training, this is called bong sao. Now, what I want you to do is I don't want you to raise the bong sao. You can do this a few times, and you're going to see it's going to start to kill your forearms. What I want you to do is I want you to drill it out. I want you to think of like you're turning the ignition of a car. So you just kind of screw it out like that. Okay, so when we go, the lop sao, remember lop is pull and sao is hand. It's the pulling hand. So let your opponent pull your forearm, and I'm just going to place my forearm on there. There's actually 2 ways that this is taught. The first way that I like is I will connect forearms, Larry will pull me down, and then he will place his forearm. Now, you see this hand? This hand is called wu sao. Wu sao means protecting hand. All right, I don't want to touch. Right now, if we were here and Larry pulled, and I put the wu sao up, he's just going to push down, and he's going to get the hit. He's trapping me, hence the name trapping, right? All right, so what I want out of you is when he pulls, I want you to sit back with the wu sao. This is my secondary block. My first block is the bong sao. When he pulls me, I turn that pull into bong sao. If he were to get past the bong sao, the wu sao should come in. Okay, he might pull that then, but it'll give me time to come out. So without confusing you anymore, I'm just going to give you the cycle right now. So he will pull me down. As soon as I feel him touch, I release his hand. The wu sao comes back. Okay, let me switch sides. Maybe you can see a little better here. So when we're here, he pulls it down. Now look at my hand. I relax it. So whenever it's pulled down, relax this. If I kept it stiff, I'm flexing all the wrong muscles. He's going to just control my whole body and hit me. If I stay relaxed, I can hold a lot of pressure off. It's very strong. Like, watch this. Right now, if I have Larry make a fist, tighten it up, and if I push in, you can try this. Try to stand your ground with your feet. All right? It collapses. Now watch. Point the fingers, lock out. It's much stronger. Really, really lock your feet in there. It's hard to pull it in. If he makes a fist, you'll see it just collapses right in. He's flexing the wrong muscles. That's all this is what that little demonstration was about. So when he pulls me down, I want to relax on the low point. Then I come up and I tighten on the high point. Now we're just meeting forearms. It's not like we're going to go, come on, let's fight, take that. It's not about that, okay? What this is about is just placement. I'm learning how to relax, and then I'm going to pull down. So now I do not let go of this until Larry touches. Then I go back to Wu Sao. If he lets go too soon, let go. See, this is just going to come on the inside. So right now, we pull down, and when he touches, I go to Wu Sao. So as soon as I touch, Larry goes to the Wu Sao. Wu Sao, thanks. Okay, and now he's going to pull down. I go to Wu. So right here. So let's just flow a little. Okay, so what this does is this pulls. This Wu Sao right here will pull. Okay, so when we do it, like if I did this, they actually say you should hear a sound. If you did it, I don't know if the mic can pick that up, but you can hear it. Can you hear it? You'll hear the wind. Okay, so when we go, see this, you want to be able to really pull. That's what you're training here. So when we go, you'll feel that gear in. Okay, so now, as we flow and as you become more comfortable, I want you to switch hands, start to drill the opposite side of your body. And then when that becomes comfortable, when I grab Larry, he's going to grab my hand. See, I go to grab him, he grabs it. See how he just switched it? And now we continue on the opposite side of the body. This is the first switch that I'm going to teach. This is the only one that you need to know for this level, the beginning level material. So as he touches my arm, I grab it, and I switch sides. Now we continue on. Relax on the low point, fist on the high point. You see it? When he touches, I switch. Okay? Relax and let's just flow a little. Okay, and time. All right, that's the lopsided cycle. Okay, so now you have the lopsided cycle. We're going to go into the pak sao cycle. All right, now do you remember earlier I showed what they call seung pak? Seung pak is the double pak where it went right here. Remember I talked about you can eye gouge, you can wanjun, you could slap the eardrum. Well, this drill right now is just going to go one, and he's going to come back at me. Remember this sut sao? I told you that chop is sut sao. So we go double pak, and then he comes back with a chop. I stop it, and I double pak the opposite arm, and then he chops back. So again, real slow. From the connection, we go 1, 2, in. Larry stops it. As soon as he starts to come back at me, I stop it, I check it, and then I come with the other hand. 1, 2, 1, 2. He stops it and comes back at me. So he just ricochets off. So he does it. Dude, it's speed once. Right there. So the idea is if you double pak one time, see, I just come back. So I check it and I sut sao. Okay, so from the drill, we go 1, 2, he checks, he suts. 1, 2. Okay, let me slow it down. Okay, so now let's reverse roles. So again, Larry's going to go 1, 2, I check, sut. 1, 2, check, sut. So obviously I want to do this before he reaches me, right? So this will pick up the pace of the drill. Okay, so slow down. Okay, so watch this. Keep going. Now, whenever Larry wants to switch sides, he tracks back my hand, and then he does the sut sao. And now it just switched our sides. This is going to be confusing, so I'm going to go really slow with it. Now, watch this. If Larry comes at me, I track it, and then I go right back at him. See, it reversed our role. Now I'm on the inside. Look, I'm slapping the inside of his arm. So if Larry wants to switch sides, he tracks me back. He puts me back to the outside. See where I have to do the double slap. 1, 2, outside. He's inside. But if I want to be on the inside, I do the double slap. You'll find that a lot of guys want the inside. You know why? because this is a lot more tender than this, okay? So you're gonna see that everybody's going, oh no, you know, I wanna be here. And then Larry will go, no, I wanna be there. So you'll start to just play with it. Just have a little bit of fun with it. You know, the whole idea behind these drills, it makes it alive. It makes it, to me, it accelerates your training. I've been involved in many systems of martial arts, and a lot of them are so static to where it's hard to be dedicated. You're like tired. You're like, you know, it's just, it just kind of like drags on. This, it becomes a game. You sit there and you play with it, and you'll start to just have a lot of fun, and fun's the whole key to this. It's the reason that you do it. I mean, I'm sure you want to protect yourself, or you want to learn something about another culture, you know, but the truth is, if you're not enjoying it, you're not going to keep doing it. You're not going to do it with the same dedication that you need to do it with. And that's why I like these drills. It's easy to get 5,000 reps in a night, you know? I mean, when you're, even like, when you're doing a lot of traditional martial arts and you're just sitting there and you're just punching, try to do 5,000 punches. It's hard to go through that. With this, it's easy. We could sit here all night and just do this first drill, right? It's easy to get a lot of reps in really fast. You know, it's easy to get a lot of these reps in and just continue on, okay? So I just gave you 2 drills. You have the Lop-Sao cycle right here, and you have the Pak-Sao cycle, and you have the switches for both of them. So the Lop-Sao cycle switch is when he grabs my arm, I grab his arm, we switch sides, okay? When I grab his arm, he grabs my arm, we switch sides. See how I keep the bong sao up? Okay, and then on the Pak-Sao cycle, when I go, I track him back, and then it puts Larry to the outside. So if he wants to go on the inside, he tracks me back, and then he throws me back out to the outside. Okay? All right, so you got both drills, and that's all you need for the beginning series. Okay, we're going to go into Ung Moon now. Ung Moon is a form in Jun Fan Gung Fu. A lot of people argue this and say there are no forms in Jun Fan Gung Fu. Bruce Lee was anti-form, and it's not the case. He wasn't anti-form. What he felt is you should not become fixated to it or transfixed into it so much to where you thought that is how the combat would come out. From what I know of Bruce Lee, he was an awesome forms man. Dan Inosanto told me that he thought Bruce Lee was the best forms man that he has ever seen. But he kind of stripped him and took it away as time went on. Now, this was a part of Jun Fan Gung Fu, and it's still a part of my Jun Fan Gung Fu. Later, Bruce Lee, as he evolved into Jeet Kune Do, dropped the forms, and he thought that he would just kind of make everything alive, spar it, box it, just drill it. I think that's great, but without the forms, I don't think he would have been the martial artist that he was. I think you need these forms to kind of crispen your movement, and then you discard them. The whole thing about being a sculptor and chipping away, you have to have some stone there before you start chipping away. So the idea is, right now I'm laying the stone down. You can start to like look at this and chip away, learn this form, and then later you can discard it, or you could keep it. I think the form has great value. What I've done is I give this to my beginning students, and it seems like they pick up the trapping much better. They're learning how to block simultaneously with the strike, and they're doing it in a way that it's not too much pressure on them. They don't have a guy swinging a punch at them. They're able to just concentrate on the form, and after they get it, I show them how to apply it in real life combat. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to do the form one time at a slow pace, then I'm going to pick up the pace for you. So let's do it the first time. All right, here it goes. Ung Moon. Ung Moon means 5 gates. All right, in Wing Chun Gung Fu, they have 4 gates, and they quarter the body out. They say that there's a block here, there could be blocking here and here. Well, in Jun Fan Gung Fu, they have the same belief, but they treat another gate on the bottom as a gate within itself, so it's 5 gates. All right, remember, every time you open a gate or close a gate, another gate opens. All right, so I'll teach you the meaning of this in a second. So when we start it, we're going to go, at the beginning of the form, we are going to salute in, then we're going to go pull up, we squat, open into Yichi Kamyangma. We're going to repeat this one last time. Bai Zhong stance, step back, and now we're going to begin the form. Tanda, Tanda, Biuda, Biuda, ha wan pak da, ha wan pak da, gang sao da, gang sao da, ha pak da, ha pak da, loi wan pak biuji, loi wan pak biuji, noi wan pak biuji, noi wan pak biuji, noi biuji, noi biuji, loi biuji, loi biuji, toi sao biuji, toi sao biuji, go lan sao da, go lan sao da, lan sao da, lan sao da, lan sao da, go ha go, lan sao da, go ha go, pak sao jik dum tek, pak sao jik dum tek, kao sao juk tek, kao sao juk tek, biuji bong sao lap sao chung choi, biuji bong sao lap sao chung choi, biuji bong sao lap sao gua choi, biuji bong sao lap sao gua choi, biuji bong sao lap sao lao sing choi, biuji bong sao lap sao lao sing choi, biuji bong sao lap sao sat sao, biuji bong sao lap sao sat sao, biuji bong sao lap sao sat q, biuji bong sao lap sao sat q, biuji bong sao lap sao jin choi, biuji bong sao lap sao jin choi, biuji bong sao lap sao jik churn, biuji bong sao lap sao jik churn, biuji bong sao lap sao wan jurn, biuji bong sao lap sao wan jurn. Then they will bow out, and that's the end of the form. It's a little redundant at the end. It's okay, but it's teaching you each hand and what to do with it. So we're going to go through it one more time. I'm going to go through it a little bit at speed. Then we'll go through it again, and I'll explain what you are doing. So again, okay, we bow in. Bai zhong, tanda, tanda, biu da, ha wan pak da, gang sao da, ha pak da, loi wan pak biuji, loi wan pak biuji, noi wan pak biuji, noi wan pak biuji, noi biuji, noi biuji, loi biuji, loi biuji, toi sao biuji, go lan sao da, go lan sao da, lan sao da, lan sao da, lan sao da, go ha go, lan sao da, go ha go, pak sao jik dum tek, pak sao jik dum tek, kao sao juk tek, kao sao juk tek, biuji bong sao lap sao chung choi, biuji bong sao lap sao chung choi, biuji bong sao lap sao gua choi, biuji bong sao lap sao gua choi, biuji bong sao lap sao lao sing choi, biuji bong sao lap sao lao sing choi, biuji bong sao lap sao sat sao, biuji bong sao lap sao sat sao, biuji bong sao lap sao sat q, biuji bong sao lap sao sat q, biuji bong sao lap sao jin choi, biuji bong sao lap sao jin choi, biuji bong sao lap sao dim jern or jik jern, biuji bong sao lap sao jik jern, biuji bong sao lap sao wan jern, biuji bong sao lap sao wan jern. Then we bow out. They will either use the term dim jern or jik jern. So we just use jik jern, or I'm just using it for this video's sake. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. So I'm going to have you guys bow in. Okay, so then they're going to go into the crossing, pull up, squat, go into Yichi Kamyangma. One more time, 1, 2, pull up. Okay, Bai Zhong stance, the hands come out, step back. All right, so now it goes tan da, so tan sao da. All right, now I'm going to pull Larry out for a second. And what this is if I punch, I don't care if it's with my jab or with my cross, he can get the tan da. Let's do it this side for camera's sake. If I go with the cross, the tan da this side, or it could be here, tan da this side. Do you see it? Okay, so moving on. Biu da, biu da, biu da. The same thing. If he goes, biu da or biu da. So now you're learning simultaneous blocking and striking. Okay? Now the next is ha wan pak da or ha wan pak da. What you're learning here is if I punch, he can go and cover. If I knee, he can go and cover. If I kick, he can go and cover. The same thing with gang sao da. Gang sao da is more of a cut. Okay? I look at it more like it's a panic attack in a way. If I kick, maybe he needs to really block that thing and hit. He gets out of the way and hits, okay? So that's gang sao da, okay? The next one is ha pak da, or ha pak da. Okay, so now, ha pak da, I think it's very obvious. If I knee, he can ha pak da. If I go low, he can ha pak da, okay? All right, so now, moving on, loi wan pak biuji. I love loi wan pak biuji. I use it all the time. I use it in sparring. If I'm going right here, let me turn you sideways. If I punch, he can parry it and he can get that eye jab. Or if I do this side, he could go here. This is loi, means inside. You're going to hear this a lot throughout this video, loi or noi. Noi is outside. So if Larry punches, that's loi wampak biuji. So I am parrying and I am eye jabbing. All right, so now noi wampak biuji. Do that for me, Joe. Go the other side. Noi wampak biuji. So if we go, noi wampak biuji is the exact same thing, just on the outside. If I go with this hand, noi wampak biuji. Okay, now we're going to go loi biuji. I mean, noi biuji, sorry. Noi biuji. Noi biuji. Obviously, the same thing. If I punch, he just takes the angle. If I punch with the other hand, he takes the angle. Same thing with loi biuji. Loi biuji. All right, if I punch, he takes the inside. Loi biuji or loi biuji. All right, toi sao biuji. Give me toi sao biuji. Toi sao biuji. All right, toi sao biuji, if he punches, I look at it like that. It's like I'm chasing it back. Toi means to back up. Okay, so if I go at Larry, he goes, or he can go with the other hand, see it, to the inside, or he can go with this hand. Okay, it doesn't matter if he's on my outside of my hand or the inside of my hand. You're just pulling it past. Right now, if we're here and I punch, he can go or he can go. All right, so if he punches me, I go like that, or I go like that. That's toi sao biuji. All right, the next one is go lan sao da. Okay, can you do that for me, Joe? Good. Go lan sao da. So now the go lan sao da, it looks like I'm doing this overhead block and punch. It's not really that. Now, it depends on how we use it. We use it in chi sao. So if we're rolling in chi sao, which you're going to learn later in this tape, they go here. So this motion is this. You see it? So here, let me switch sides. All right, if I'm here like that, I come up, see the hit, and then they're going to go. Okay, that's go lan sao da. Okay, now from go lan sao da, if he go into boxing, switch your leads for the camera. All right, so he goes one. If he comes in with the two, see they go like that. So right at my face, one, I go like that. See, this will hit, and then they're going to go into the punching. That's go lan sao da. So it looks like you're doing this rising block. It's really not. Okay, it is a block, but it's treated a little bit different. See it? It is an attack also. Okay? So now, from the go lan sao da, it just goes down to lan sao da. Lan sao da. All right, the lan sao da is this. If I were in my trapping, see, this is lan sao, and that's the da. Okay, the da is the strike. So lan sao da. Then obviously lan sao da, go, ha, go, is just what it is. If I'm here, I go like that. So maybe maybe he raises his arms. Just raise your arms right up. It gives that bottom shot, and then now I'm going to come back high. Do you see it? So it's going to go high, low, high. Okay? All right, so now the next position is going to be pak sao, jik dum tak. Okay? Or pak sao, jik dum tak. So right now, if Larry were to punch, see, they'll go here. This is pak sao, jik dum tak. They just pop the knee as it comes in. I'm giving you kind of sloppy form, leaving my arm hanging, but it should be up, and then I should come in. Okay? So now the next one, Joe's going to go kao sao, juk tak, kao sao, juk tak. So if let's say Larry punches, I might go here. See, I can go right into the knee, or the other arm, and then I can juk tak there. Okay? So that's kao sao, juk tak. So now we're into the end. Biuji, bong sao, lap sao, chung choi. So obviously, if I go biuji, but if he comes over it, like just do this slant, I have to turn my biuji into a bong sao, lap sao, chung choi. Do you see it? So right now, just come in right there. So let me explain this slowly. I go to attack Larry. He counterattacks right over it. So right now, if I went here and if I had no knowledge of what to do, he would slide that in. He's going to steal that center line that we talked about, and he's going to hit me right in the face. So right there, I turn my biuji into a bong sao, lap sao, chung choi. So that's why we went biuji, bong sao, lap sao, chung choi. Okay? And it's the same thing. It's obvious. Biuji, bong sao, lap sao, chung choi. Now do the biuji, bong sao, lap sao, gua choi is the back fist. It's the same thing. 1, 2, and I back fist. Okay? Biuji, bong sao, lao sing choi. Lao sing choi is a rake down. Okay? So if I go here, it just kind of goes straight down. Maybe I see his hand. He's going to block that. So if I go like that, I try to go past this block. Maybe if he blocked this. Maybe if he blocks it, I go up like that. And I just turn it and I rake straight down the face. Okay? All right? Next position. Biuji, bong sao, lap sao, sut sao. Now I already showed you the sut sao before. I just sat sao right here. One more time. Biji, bong sao, lap sao, and the sat is just the chop. Okay, sat Q is a hammer fist. See the hammer fist? He goes Biji, bong sao, lap sao, sat Q. He hammer fists. Say other side. Biji, bong sao, lap sao, sat sao. I mean, sat Q. All right, so it goes Biji, bong sao, lap sao, sat Q. So now I just hammer fisted. Just evident what you're doing. Okay? The next one after it is Jin Choi. So Biji, bong sao, lap sao, Jin Choi. Biji, bong sao, lap sao, Jin Choi. So now Larry's wise to me. He knows that I'm going to come here. So I go right here, and I just drill it right in the ribs. The Jin Choi is the uppercut. So again, it goes like that, and I just hit the ribs. That's my Jin Choi. Okay, so now we're going to go Biji, bong sao, lap sao, Jik Jern, or Dim Jern. We use Jik Jern mainly. I should just keep you with one terminology. Okay, so Biji, bong sao. We talked about this already. The Jik Jern, you just palm the face. Okay? And then Wan Jern is the last one. Biji, bong sao, lap sao, Wan Jern. So round palm. So now, this one, when I can go to the face, or I can go into the ribs. Okay? So when I go here, I just roll it and palm the face. Okay? So that's Ung Moon for you. I feel it's a very valid drill. I think it's very good for beginners. It has its place. My students seem to get trapping a lot easier after they know Ung Moon. And it's going to be part of your test. So get it down. Okay, here's your introduction to the Junfan dummy. The dummy can be found in several martial arts systems. They also have this in Wing Chun Kung Fu, in Shaolin Kung Fu, and many other systems. Some people have different versions of the wooden dummy. Some of them have fixed arms, and what I mean by that is if you look at this arm, see how it's free floating in here? It can float up and down and side to side. All the arms are that way. They're all loose. The leg, also that way. It goes in and out and floats. Now, the arms do not necessarily mean that this would be the right arm, this would be the left arm. The way that they look at it is it could be this same arm. So it doesn't mean necessarily that you're dealing with a left hand and a right hand. It just means that that's the angle the blow is going. It could be the lead hand or it could be the rear hand. And get your mind out of the gutter. No, this is another arm, this or a knee. So if we're right here, this could be for low blocking, the low strikes, low knees, or low kicks. The leg is for, of course, obviously, the leg. Okay? If you notice, the dummy, it kind of floats around also. So it's supposed to move with you as you do it. And if you hit the dummy, it flex in and out. Okay? So with the combination of the arm, with that little movement and that little movement, it's supposed to represent, if somebody were to slap my arm, of me locking out. Okay, so now the looseness of the arm goes, if I pock, see how he shocks it? That little bit of shock is what dummy represents. Just that little movement, and it's like I'm hitting that other wall of the wood. So right there. So it basically mimics a human catching himself. And the same thing here. If somebody shoved me, I would brace myself and then recoil back. All right, right now, we're going to put Larry's hands down. So if I were to hit him, see it? He's getting a little movement, and he'll bear into it, like that. You see it? So it's the same thing with the dummy. When I hit it, it's going to come back. It might go back a little, but he's going to recoil. So bang, and then he's right back at me. And that's what that's supposed to do, the flexing in and out. This dummy's fixed to the wall. A lot of them are free-floating, meaning like on a stand, to where the stand will actually move with the person. So it's good either way. It doesn't. I've seen some with steel arms where there's no movement. It doesn't matter. It's still a good training apparatus if you don't have a partner to use. At least you have this dummy. There are times where we will pull the pin. If you look, there's a pin back here. They'll pull the pin and they'll remove an arm, and they have techniques that they'll do with the single arm. They might remove all the arms and just use that. Some people have an arm and it's fixed to a spring to where it bends, almost like a human will be able to bend his limb. All right, but right now we're just going to work this. So what I'm going to start with is, well, before I get into it, I just talked about this. Now, you'll see that it moves in and out, up and down, and side to side. When we do it, when we work the arm or the dummy we want to look for that movement. We just don't want to go and press on it. We want to get that little explosion. There are going to be times where I block it with bong sao. Now what we look for, we don't want it to go here and then over. We kind of want it to go and hit each corner. And you'll start to hear, you'll hear that clack, 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 clack. It's like just a continuous pat, 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 pat. So like that, okay? And my instructor, there's times where he was going, no, Ron, you're not doing it right. And I'm wondering how he knew that. I mean, he isn't even really looking at us, but he was listening. And you'll hear that, but it's going, it's not right. Or if it goes like that, you're not supposed to disconnect. It's supposed to be total cohesion to where it goes up, corner, down. From the dummy, the four corners, when it goes, one, when I start to turn, he resists. Then I turn, he resists. See it? So these movements, I hit. It'll freeze on the wall, goes to the top wall, turns to the bottom. Okay? So let me get into this. Now, we start the form, when Sifu Dan Inosanto taught me this, and he taught everybody it, he usually starts with set number 3. And everybody goes, that's crazy. Why not start with set number 1? And he felt 3 was the easiest to show, so he would teach 3, 4, and then he would hop back and go 1, 2. Okay? But right now, we're going to start with number 3 and number 4. You're going to need this for this test. Okay? So I'm going to start off with number 3. Okay? We're going to start off pak sao. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to slap inside, slap inside, slap inside. Or I could say go right hand, right hand. Then I am going to slap outside. This chops, this pulls and punches. Let me do that again. 1, 2, 3. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Again. 1, 2, 3. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Last time. 1, 2, 3. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Now I am going to go to the second arm and I slap on the inside. I step all the way over and then I slap on the outside. This chops and I repeat it on the other side, the pull and the punch. Let's start again. 1, 2, 3. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Again. Okay. What this represents, I know I'm telling you to go 1, 2, 3, but the way it's really taught is 1, 2, then go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you could see that. So if we broke it down, I'll teach it at the beginning, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll go to the outside. It's not really the rhythm we want. Now once you get past it and you understand that you're going to hit it the 3 times, I go break it into 2, 4, 4. Now watch what I mean by that. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you understand that? It's pretty simple. Again, slap, 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 chop, pull, punch. Slap, chop, pull, punch. Okay? Again, slap, slap. Really, it's slap, slap, chop, pull, punch. Slap, slap, chop, pull, punch. The pull and the punch go together. Now, if you look at this, when I do this, 1, 2, 3. People will do this, and this is one of the key mistakes. See it? They hinge their elbow out. They go like that because they want to chop back. What they want you to do is they want this elbow in. Slap, chop. So when it chops, it will come up and spring out. But when you do the pak, it should be here. So when we go 1, 2, slap, chop, pull, punch. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the next motion is called gang jam. You see it? Right here. My right goes high, my left goes low. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Then gang jam. Then I am going to turn it over. This is called hun sao. Okay? And then I pull and I palm the face of the dummy. So this motion here, a lot of people call it the Dempsey shift. If you ever read Jack Dempsey's book, when he would punch, when the punch would come, he'd hook the one punch out and he would jam the other hand back in at the person, and then he would go off. Okay, this is the Dempsey shift. If Larry were to punch, I would hun and jam sao. This jam, I'm trying to knock it right into him. So on the dummy, when you see that circle and that hit in, that's what that represents, this movement. right here. He did not invent this. Well, he didn't for himself. He invented or discovered it. But it's existed way before he or I were ever on this earth, okay? Or probably his father was on this earth. It's been in this system for many, many years. So when we go here, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I go inside, outside, chop, pull and punch. This is gang jam, hun sao. We call this jut da and then jik jern. Jik jern is straight, okay? Jik means straight. All right, jern is hand. Then I slip in between and come out. That's jiao sao. You should know what jiao sao is by now. Jiao sao. And then it comes here. It goes xiang jut sao, so double jerk, and then xiang tak sao. So tak sao means lift. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, if you look, when I come through, it goes here. That's biuji. So they're eye jabbing, okay? So when we go here, let me do the whole thing again for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I count these together, okay? Then I go 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 motions will get you through this. That's set number 3. I'm going to do it, just cruise with it a little bit, and then I'll pick up the pace and I'll slow down again. So. Again. Slow it down. Okay, pak sao, pak sao, pak sao, pak, sut. This would be considered like jut da. Pak, pak, sut, jut da. Gang sao, hun sao, jut da jik jern. Jiao sao, xiang biuji, xiang jut sao, xiang tak sao. Tak means lift. Okay, last time. That's set number 3. Okay, you finished 3, you got it down. Let's go on to number 4. Now, set number 4, we're going to start off with our right arm. This is called ha bong sao, or low bong sao. Ha means low. So ha bong sao. Now I'm going to take a little step. So you see it from right here. When I bong, I take a little step, and then this is going to go pak sao, sut sao, or slap chop. Okay? One more time. Go ha bong sao, pak sut. Take another little step, and then we're going to side kick, or juk tak. All right, again. 1, 2, 3. See it? I go ha bong sao, pak sut, juk tak. Okay, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Now I want you to take a big step in, and we're going to repeat it with our left arm. Ha bong sao, pak sut sao, juk tak. Again. Bong sao. Now I'm going to take that little step. Pak sut. I take a little step. Side kick. Recover. Come back center. Gang jam sao. One more time. From the beginning. Ha bong sao. Pak sut sao. Juk tak. Ha bong sao. Pak sut sao. Juk tak. Gang sao. Hun sao. This is called kwak sao. Kwak sao opens the arms, double low, so they call us xiang wan jern. Then you slip through double high. So this is go wan jern. Go means high. Then both arms are going to come in, jam sao, so xiang jam sao, tak sao. That's all at number 4. It's pretty easy. So let's do this again. Key points. Bong sao, low. Hand should be high. This is wu sao. It's up. It's ready to go. Pak sut sao with the little step. Take another little step. Juk tak. Recover. Bong sao. Pak sut sao. Step, side kick. Recover. Gang jam or gang sao, they'll say. Doesn't matter. Whatever you want to call it. As long as you know what you're doing. All right. Then you're going to hun sao, just like we did in number 3. Except this time I don't come up and go center. After the hun sao, I spread the other arm open, double palm low, slip through, double palm high, squeeze the arms together, lift the arms. Okay? Again, 1, 2, 3, recover, 2, 3, recover, hun, double, double low, slip through, double high, double squeeze, double lift. A lot of doubles in there, right? It's okay. All right, let's train it again. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, low, high, squeeze, lift. Let me do it a few times just at speed. Again. Remember I talked about the dummy flexing? This is the same thing. I hit the body, I shoot through, I go to the face. If he recovered and came back, I grab. I could lift it, okay? All right, again, low, pak sut, juk tak, low, pak sut, juk tak, gong sao, hun sao, kwak sao, seung wan jern, seung go wan jern, jam, tak, at speed. Okay, that's set number 4. Now, for you to get this level over with, I am going to test you on number 3 and number 4. I want you to be able to do them together, so let's do them together now. 1, 2, 3, outside chop, pull punch. Inside, outside chop, pull punch. Gang jam, hun sao, jut da jik jern, jiao sao, seung buji, seung ta, jut seung tak. Ha bong sao, set number 4. Pak sut, juk tek, ha bong sao, pak sut, juk tek, gang sao, hun sao, kwak sao, seung wan jern, seung go wan jern, seung jam, seung tak. So again, again. Last time. Okay, that's putting 3 and 4 together. So get ready. Like I said, this is a great tool when you don't have someone else there to partner up with you. It means you don't have to skip training. You could still have some of your trapping training when you got nobody there for you. He's always going to be there for you. All right, we just finished the beginning level. All right, we stressed this time footwork, keeping the hands up, basic boxing skills. We didn't go too much into the in-depth trapping or anything. That's coming in the intermediate series. But just remember, you need to really burn this into you. This is your foundation. We're going to do basics all the way through. Remember the saying, it's always back to basics. You're always going to use this beginning material. So get it in. Especially if you plan on teaching, you need to have this down because you got to present this to your beginners. So give it a good look, and I think it'll serve you well. All right, thank you.